Hello everyone, I am not good at lying and welcome to the game that I'm playing, because I broke my microphone stand in case you didn't watch the first episode. Welcome to Without Within, Part 2. Venti, okay, we're gonna go ahead and skip to where I was before I made the horrible choice to die. Hello everyone and we're back. So, to reiterate, some woman is knocking at our door. Probably to tell us about another rent rise. Actually, as we found out in the last episode, it's to tell us that we're probably going to be evicted. Allow us to choose. Let's rise and shine. Coming, as I changed into something more appropriate, the landlady still kept knocking. I said I was coming, did I not? Maybe I should walk out naked if that was what she dug. If this were a game, we might get a sale boost too. Good morning, Miss Venti, the landlady said. I must ask, what's with that hair? It looks like you just woke up. That's because I did save. It's a waste for young ladies like you to sleep away your youth. God damn it. The landlady shook her head. She had no right to preach to me like this. I wanted to tell her, but decided against it, as doing so would give her an excuse to lecture me further. With her size, if I enraged her, she would squash me into Venti-flavored pancake. Miss Venti, your rent was due 3 days ago. I'm sorry. Oh, well, at least there was no rent increase. Sorry, madame. My next paycheck will come after tonight's shift, so I'll pay you first thing tomorrow morning. The landlady grunted. All right. Just know that if this keeps up, you'll have to find somewhere else to live. She spun around to leave. Once she disappeared behind the corridor, I kicked my door shut, causing a piece of my cracked wall to fall off. I tried shoving the piece back into place. My effort resulted in more wall fragments flying off. Damn, this is loud music. Save. Great. The landlady would make me pay for that next month. Once I became an accomplished calligrapher, she would beg for a chance to shine my shoe. Hey, I sounded a bit ranty before, but that was never my intention. A lot of famous people had humble beginnings. I would follow in their footsteps. But first, I needed to put in the work. Wow, is this a commercial break? Are we gonna break to a commercial? Damn it, Without Within. And so I returned to the busiest street in my area with my calligraphy spread before me. I sat on the concrete and rested my back against the fence. Car horns blared behind me, mixed with people shouting things about each other's mothers. These cars kept expelling fumes that made me choke. Just one of the many things I dealt with in the name of art. Pedestrians took up almost every inch of the space on the street ahead. Surely this would be the day when someone spotted my talent. Dots. Calligraphy? Oh man, I just got that. Okay, dots. As always, no one afforded me anything more than a passing glance, and my will soon dwindled. Let me be honest, I never expected to be showered with praise by every head who passed here. What was that old saying? 10% of the people you reached out to will buy your work? That's a saying. I could live with that. Even just 1%, please, anything but 0. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to scream at these people. They had no idea how much sweat I had poured into these calligraphies. Alright, lady. Fuck, I didn't save. I hope we make the right choice, but we're gonna persevere. I decided to keep these displeasures to myself. People often said patience would be rewarded. I wondered if my patience would ever become worthwhile. Just as I thought this, a man paused to look at my calligraphies. He had a bucket of fried chicken in his hand. The smell made my mouth water. As the man eyed my works one by one, I felt my cheeks heating up from anticipation. At last, someone who spared me more than a moment with my works. This must be my reward. The timing could hardly be more perfect. I summoned the courage to speak with the man, but he spoke first. You are charging for these?" I managed a tiny nod. The man snorted, "I would never hang these on my wall, even if you gave them to me for free. Seriously, this is the most shameless display I've ever seen. You are such a douche." Dots. Trolls online were one thing. Confronting one in real life was a rarity. Judging from the man's scrawny arms, I bet I could overpower him with ease. Then he would know just how big of a blunder he had made, save. Okay, maybe I should attack him. Let's do it. I crunched up one of my calligraphies and rose. The man must have sensed my violent intent as he stepped back and shielded his face with the bucket of chicken. I threw a punch at him before he could flee into the crowd. My fist connected with the side of his head. That marked the first time I had ever hit someone. My knuckles hurt from the blow, but seeing the guy's dropped jaw made it worthwhile. He probably grew up this way because no one ever dared to punish him. A couple of pedestrians popped in and held me back from attacking the man further. I squirmed against their grips, but gave up as my anger waned. Once my breathing returned to normal, the civilians loosened their hold and I brushed myself free. I'll remember this. The man fled for the train station, eating another piece of chicken as he did so. I hoped he choked on it. The next morning, someone knocked on my door. I checked the clock, 5 a.m. When would the landlady cut me a break? "Miss Venti, it's the police." Oh no. I cupped a hand over my mouth as if keeping quiet would make the police go away. "They must be here to ask me about my assault yesterday. That guy I punched was nothing but talk. I should have let him ramble. God knew what would befall me now. I really don't want to save because I think I'm about to die, but we'll figure it out. I prayed I would at least be spared a jail sentence." Tears streaked down my cheeks as I buried myself under the blanket. This had to be nothing more than a bad dream. Aw. She's crying. Fuck. Trolls online were one thing. Confronting one in real life was a rarity. Oh, we're back, by the way. Judging from the man's scrawny arms, I bet I could overpower him with ease. Then he would know just how big of a blunder he had just made. We're gonna restrain, though. Folks always said to ignore trolls. I clenched my teeth and stayed put. After chuckling in my face, the man strutted off. Determined to prove him wrong, I continued to sit and wait for potential customers. Another 1,000 people walked by without sparing me a look. Lingering here any longer would be a waste of time. As I packed my things, I insisted I was leaving because my part-time job started in an hour. Deep inside, I knew that man's words had rocked my confidence. Giving up on calligraphy would mean I had wasted all this time over nothing. Yet if I lacked the gift, persevering might make things worse. Tears welled in my eyes, and I clenched my fists to hold them back. Speaking of tears, I heard a kid crying within the crowd. Looked like we had a lost child on our hands. Some pedestrians shot him glances, but none of them offered more than that. These really were horrible people. To cheer myself up, I told myself I would never want my calligraphies to be owned by people like that. I should help the kid, but that would mean being late for my job. Oh no, help him. If I judged others for abandoning a child, then did the same thing myself, I would be a jerk and a hypocrite. With a sigh, I walked up to the boy. There, it's okay. Did you lose Mummy? Save? The boy was sobbing too hard to answer. I leaned in to stroke his back with one hand and his head with the other. Gross. Let me know if you lost Mummy, okay? I'll help you find her, so there's no need to be scared. The kid managed to nod at last, and I whispered good boy into his ear. What's your mummy's name? Hungry? Her name is Hungry? The boy's tummy growled, and I realized what he meant. Oh, well, how about I buy you a sandwich? The kid shook his head. I want ice cream. Hey kid, ice cream's more of a dessert, actually. I want ice cream. And so ice cream it was. One for him and none for me. The money came out of my pocket. Of course, my poor wallet. At least this kid could have eaten the whole thing rather than let half of it melt on his shirt. "Jessie," the boy said. "That's Mummy's name." "Jessie! Jessie!" I called as I strode along the streets. Now people stared at me more than ever, enough to make me blush, in fact. Maybe I should try shouting Jessie at random the next time I sold my calligraphies. It'd actually probably work. You should do it. The sky turned orange as time ticked by. Yes, I knew my shift started a half an hour ago. Stop reminding me. Damn it, woman, get to your job. A woman squeezed through the crowd and scurried towards us. She ran past a red light, nearly getting hit by a truck in the process. "Mummy!" The boy shook free of my hold and rushed into his mother's embrace, who almost just died. After muttering apologies to her son, the woman gazed towards me. "Oh, thank you so much for your help. You're wonderful. Just wonderful." The torrent of praises curled my lips into a stupid grin. Anyone would have done the same thing. "Please, if there's anything I can do in return, just let me know. Actually, there's something I need help with, now that you mention it." The mother nodded. "Anything in my power, miss." Which way back to the train station?" Okay. Well, hey, I made it to chapter 2. The sky had gone dark by the time I arrived at work. I opened the restaurant's door gingerly to avoid making any noise. Stealth mode switched on. They called me Ninja Venti for a reason. "Miss Venti!" The voice of my boss made me jump onto the ceiling fan. "Sorry I'm late." I wanted to explain, but my boss glared at me, and my tongue slurred out a bunch of syllables. My explanation was in there somewhere. Probably. Maybe? I received an earful from my boss, but at least I got to keep my job. Several colleagues shot me frowns for not being here during such a busy period. In the end, I took all the blame without a complaint. Well, at one point I locked myself inside a toilet and screamed into the bowl. I also might or might not have fantasized? Okay, this is gonna get weird, guys. About dunking my workmate's head into the toilet. That was for me alone to know, though. At least I earned the paycheck needed to keep my landlady quiet for another month. As for the month after that, we would see when the time came. All I wanted was to pursue my art, but reality kept pressuring me towards finding a second job. On my way home, I spotted a banner for an upcoming visual novel named Princess Aria. The game had long been hyped on every form I knew. Amazing art, along with a cast of famous voice actors. The writer and composer were big names too. For Princess Aria to have an ad this big, there must be a lot of money behind the project. The way this banner hung high gave me the sense it was extra important. Bright light shone off the princess's face to impress potential players. Yes, that was what I really needed. If I had a banner like that, no doubt people would line up to buy my calligraphy. I could already imagine how folks would react as I walked along the streets. Hey, I think that was Venti. Wow, no way, you mean that famous calligrapher I see on all those banners? Yeah, she must be really good. Maybe we should ask for her autograph. My agent would then step in to speak on my behalf. Please line up in orderly fashion, everyone. How much for an autograph? Shut up and take my money! An agent nodded in response. Autographs are available for $100, thanks. That would be $100, thanks, the game shop owner said. Princess Aria cost twice what I had predicted. If I bought the game, I would have too little left for rent. I opened my wallet, hoping I might have more cash on hand than realized. Turned out I had less, actually. I hung my head and the storekeeper sighed. His arched brows pressured me into buying a game. I did ride 3 trains to get here, might as well pick up something. I told the shopkeeper how much money I had and he shook his head. The store owner pulled out a different game from under his table and brushed away the dust on it so I could see the cover. The title read Sunflower War, some visual novel about the Battlefield. Copyright 1997, the bottom read. No wonder it was so cheap art by Invert Mouse. Whoever the heck that was, the front cover would fit perfectly in a kindergarten classroom. I flipped the case to see what was highlighted on the back. The game supported up to 640 by 480 resolution. Truly the pinnacle of technology. Wow. Man, those are the days. The shopkeeper grimaced. He must have sensed I wanted to say no. His stare made my palms stain with sweat, and I ended up buying the game. Dealing with folks like that had always been a weakness of mine. Remind me never to visit that store again, and we've been going on for 6 minutes, guys. I will see you in the next part. I hope you guys are having a great day, great week, great month. Well, I hope everything's going wonderful for you, and I will see you all very soon.